Hello, Super Sleuths. I'm Gumshu, and I'll be your deck detective. Deck Detective is a series in which every week I play and discuss a new deck. This week we're looking at Branded Predaplant, a variant of the powerful Branded deck that focuses on fusion summoning massive dark monsters and spreading predator counters for effects. New Predaplant support and Mysterious Labyrinth gives the deck some powerful tools, including an amazing fusion monster for setup, as well as a cool new boss monster. Let's get into the deck list. Here's the list. Quick note that Orpha Scorpio is currently at 1, but will be at 2 in a couple days. Sorry for not having this video made after that, but with the new selection pack coming out, there really wasn't another place to fit this deck. With Orpha Scorpio at 1, there's really not enough good Predaplant names to play Prey to Practice. With it at 2, and especially if it goes to 3 later, Prey to Practice builds are worth further consideration. In addition to this, you can also decrease the size of the Predaplant engine, playing just Biblisc, Bufalicula, Stay Sailor, and Ambula Melodies in normal branded Despia to get a searchable polymerization off branded fusion, and to keep Albion on field for fusion summons. How much Predaplant you play is kind of up to you, making this list one of the hardest so far to get a good hold on. Now onto the deck list. 2 Biblisp, if it's sent to the graveyard, you can add a Predaplant monster from your deck to your hand except itself, and if a monster with a predator counter is on the field, you can special summon itself in the graveyard but banish it when it leaves the field. This comes up at 2 because turn 1 you're often sending this off Stay Sailor to search for Follicula, and then turn 2 you're sending it off Predaplanting for more follow-up. 3 Maxi, 2 Predaplant Chlamydia Sundew. Monsters of the Predator counter that uses fusion materials are treated as dark. During your main phase, you can fusion summon 1 dark fusion monster from your extra deck using this card on the field, and monsters from your hand field or monsters with a Predator counter your opponent controls as fusion material. This card is good for lines with Orpha Scorpio. You summon it off Orpha Scorpio to make Ambula Melodies, and also can be occasionally good follow-up if you search it off Biblisp. 1 Orpha Scorpio. Sucks that this card is at 1, but we have to make do. If this card is normal special summoned, you can send 1 monster from your hand to the graveyard, special summon 1 Predaplant monster from your deck, except itself. You can only do this once per turn. So you're usually summoning Chlamydia Sundew, but you can also, in a pinch, summon Darlingtonia Cobra with this. Speaking of Darlingtonia Cobra, if this card is special summoned by the effect of a Predaplant monster, you can add 1 Polymerization spell card or 1 Fusion spell card from your deck to your hand. You can only use this effect once per duel. This card is a hard garnet. It needs to be in your deck, but luckily the branded engine has ways to shuffle it back into your deck if you draw it. But yeah, vital for your combos, but never want to play more than 1. 3 Ash Blossom, 3 Keeper of Dragon Magic, the best normal summon in the deck. If it's normal special summoned, you can discard 1 card to add a Polymerization normal spell or fusion normal spell from your deck to your hand, and then you can reveal 1 fusion monster in your extra deck, special summon 1 of the fusion monsters mentioned on that monster from your graveyard and face down defense position. But it locks you into fusions. Usually you're searching instant fusion with this to summon Ambula Melody straight from your extra deck, but occasionally you can search branded fusion as well. 2 Fault of Albaz, need to play it with for branded fusion. 1 Stay Sailor Romarin, quick effect. None of this really matters. If this card is sent to the graveyard by a card effect, you can send 1 level 5 or lower plant monster from your deck or extra deck to the graveyard. So you can either dump Biblis off this, or dump Ambula Melodies from your extra deck to use with Albion without banishing itself for Mirror Jane. 1 Aluber, summonable off branded opening. 1 Bufalicula, this has, if it's a card that's sent to the graveyard and added to your extra deck, face up because it uses fusion material, you can add 1 face up dark pendulum monster from your extra deck to your hand, except itself. Sometimes you're adding Triantris off this, which is nice. And then during your main phase, you can fusion, if it's in the scale, you can fusion summon 1 dark fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or field as fusion material. So it's polymerization for dark fusion monsters in the scale. Very nice, played at 1. Predaplant Triantis. If this card is sent to the graveyard or added to your extra deck face up because it uses fusion materials, you can choose monsters on the field up to the number of monsters you control and place 1 predator counter on each one. And if you do, any of those monsters that are level 2 or higher become level 1 as long as they have a predator counter. And then while this card is in your Pendulum Zone, if you fusion summon a dark fusion monster, you can also use cards in your Pendulum Zone as monsters on the field as material for its fusion summon. Very useful for making Triffer Overrudum for OTKs, just pretty good for making the final pushes. Also, its Predator counter spreading effect can come in handy sometimes. 1 instant fusion, pay 1,000 life points, especially when a level 5 or lower fusion monster from your extra deck. Amazing card, best card in the deck. We'll be seeing much more of this card in the near future. 3 branded fusion, 1 super poly, played at 1 because it's searchable in the deck by Darlingtonia Cobra. 2 Cosmic Cyclone for Runic, 2 Called By, 1 Prey to Prime fusion. If a Prey to Plant monster is on the field, fusion summon 1 dark fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from either field as material, including 2 or more dark monsters you control. Can be used to fuse off your 2 fusion monsters you end off into Greedy Venom Predaplower. Is that what it's called? Starving Venom Predaplower, excuse me. And then or it can be used to even fuse off your opponent's monsters for like a Triffer Overrudum. 1 Cross-Up Designator, 1 Forbidden Droplet, 2 Branded Opening, 3 Imperm, A Predaplanting, send one Predaplant monster from your deck to the graveyard as cost. Place one Predator counter on each face-up monster on the field, and if you do any of those monsters, they become level 1. And if you fusion summon a dark monster, this card is in your graveyard, you can banish a card from your graveyard and target one card on the field and destroy it. This is with Dragos on field. It's an on-field negate, which is nice, and also is good follow-up, and also is a nice out for some tricky cards decks like this usually have to out, like something like a Megaclops. Branded Banishment, you can target a Despia monster, one level 8 or higher fusion monster in your graveyard, which can be Albion, Mirror Jade, or Dragos special summon it, and then you can fusion summon one level 8 or higher fusion monster from your extra deck or banishing fusion materials listed on it from either field. So this is what you're setting from your deck off Albion. One Mud Dragon of the Swamp, super poly target, 2 Predaplant Ambula Melodies, one of the best cards in the deck, requires 2 Predaplant monsters. If it's fusion summoned, you can add a Predaplant monster or Predap spell trap from your deck, graveyard, or face-up extra deck to your hand. Then you can target one monster your opponent controls with a Predator counter or one monster you control, attribute it, and if you do, special summon one Predaplant monster from your deck. So you're summoning this a lot of times, searching Predaplanting, then tributing itself to summon Cobra. One Starving Venom Fusion Dragon, super poly target, also target for Branded Banishment. Very nice card. 2 Predaplant Dragos. Once per turn, quick effect, you can target one face-up monster your opponent controls, place one Predator counter on it, reduces its level, and then it negates the activated effects of your opponent's monsters that have Predator counters, whether it was applied by this card or any other means, like Predaplanting. Requires a fusion monster and one dark monster, one Titanic Lad the Ash Dragon, an extra send off Mirror Jade. You can summon Fall of Albaz and do super poly shenanigans. 2 Albion the Branded Dragon, 1 Masquerade the Blazing Dragon, 1 Mirror Jade the Iceblade Dragon, 1 Rebellion the Searing Dragon, 1 Predaplant Trifioverutum, requires 3 Dark Monsters on the field, gains attack equal to the total original attack of all other monsters on the field with a Predator counter, which if you resolve Predaplanting on your monsters, this can get crazy very quickly. And then also is the effect when your opponent special summons a monster from their extra deck while you control this fusion summon card, you can negate the summon, and if you do, destroy that monster. And then if your opponent controls a monster with a Predator counter, you can special summon this card from your graveyard in defense position. We have 1 Guardian Chimera, and then 1 Starving Venom Predapower Fusion Dragon. 1 Dark Fusion monster, and 1 Fusion monster, always treated as a Predaplant. Once per turn, when a card or effect is activated, quick effect, you contribute 1 monster in either field with a Predator counter, and if you do, negate the activation. This Fusion summoned card you control is sent to your graveyard by an opponent's card. You can target 1 Dark monster in your graveyard, including itself, special summon it. You can only use these effects once per turn. So that's the list. And let's go ahead and play some games. We'll play 2 games, one in which I win that I commentate over, and one in which I lose that I commentate over. The game is afoot. It's gardening time. Our first game is up against Live Twin, and our opponent is going first, but we've opened Maxi. They normal Kiss a Kill, activate its effect, and then I activate Maxi in response, but they have the Called by the Grave. Typical Master Duel. Everything resolves. Called by negates Maxi after the animation. And then Kiss a Kill summons Live Twin Leela from deck. They summon Leela and then do the Live Twin thing they do, linking into Kiss a Kill effect, summoning back the Leela, linking into Evil Twin Leela effect, summon back the Evil Twin Kiss a Kill effect to draw a card, and then they link 4 into Trouble Sunny. And then they activate Parallel Exceed in hand. Okay, this has gotten a lot worse for us. They summon Parallel Exceed, then summon another Parallel Exceed from deck before using them to overlay for Baguska. They activate Sunny Snitch, which my followers outside of YouTube now identify as something that gives me Vietnam flashbacks, searching Kiss a Kill, Frost, and then passing turn. For turn we draw Forbidden Droplet. Mama, I've top decked thee out. I activate Branded Fusion, and then Chain Droplet, sending the Branded Fusion on field and the Predaplant Biblisp in hand to negate both of their monsters. It resolves, the Cups get that drip on, and on resolution, we summon Albion by dumping Albaz and Stay Sailor from deck. Chainlink 1 Albion, Chainlink 2 Stay Sailor, and then Chainlink 3 Biblisp, all in chain. It resolves, Biblisp search Bufolicula, Stay Sailor dumps Ambula Melodies from extra deck, and then Albion banishes Albaz and Ambula Melodies for Mirror Jade. Sunny Snitch Burn, we normal summon Keeper, Sunny Snitch Burn, Keeper effect discarding Cosmic to search Instant Fusion, and then we go into battle phase. Mirror Jade effect, dumping Titanic Lad, where they have to chain Trouble Sunny so I don't banish it, leaving their graveyard effect open for use. so I have to settle for banishing Baguska. Swing for 1800, 2500, then 3000 direct for a grand total of 2700, leaving them at 13. We add main 2, we activate Instant Fusion, summoning Ambulo Melodies to search Predaplanting, and then Ambulo Melodies effect to summon Darling Tobia Cobra, attributing itself. Cobra effect searching Preda Prime Fusion, then scale Bufo to fusion summon Dragos Thepalia with Albion and Cobra. Set 2 and move to end phase, where we activate Albion, setting Banishment, and then Titaniclad, searching Albaz. For turn, they start with Trouble Sunny effect, which I go ahead and let them resolve. That sends Dragos Thepalia to grave, after which they activate Live Twin Home, discarding Droll to summon Leela, then use its effect to summon Kissakill, at which point I activate Banishment, targeting Dragos Thepalia to summon, then using Keeper and Leela to summon Starving Venom. Starving Venom effect to gain attack. Then they summon Kissakill Frost from hand. They use the Lynx effect on field, and then I chain Predaplanting, sending Biblisp to put a counter on Kissakill to negate. All of that resolves. Kissakill is negated, and then they concede. We were the pigeon, now let's be the statue. We go first, and start off by summoning Over Scorpio, using its effect to pitch Biblisp, summoning Sundew from deck. Biblisp effect to search Bufolicula. Then use summon Sundew to fusion summon the 2 on-field monsters to summon Ambulo Melodies. Ambulo to search Planning. Then use its other effect to tribute itself to summon Cobra. Cobra effect, search Super Poly, since we already have Branded and Preda Prime. Then we activate Branded Fusion, sending Albaz and the Stay Sailor in our hand. Albion effect, banishing Albaz and Ambulo to make Mirror Jade. After which we scale Bufo to fuse Albion and Cobra into Dragos Thepalia. Then they activate Nibiru. Cool. Awesome. Mirror Jade effect. Then we set 2 cards and pass turn. Mirror Jade wipes their Nibiru. Then we pass after setting Banishment with Albion. They draw, and then go to battle phase to activate Evenly Matched. And since we control a token, we have to keep the token because we can't banish it face down, which is easily one of the stupidest rulings in this game. Why can I compulse a token if it can't go to hand then? Konami make a card game with consistent rules challenge impossible. We activate Predaplanting to send Biblis for the search, then evenly banishes everything. Biblis search Sundew, and then they go to main 2 and activate Karas, and honestly, you can skip to the verdict now. Nerval search Kit. Then Karas effect, banishing Nerval to summon Lightheart. Link the 2 off to summon Farragut. Then they Farragut effect to summon Kit from hand. Kit effect, banishing 2 to summon double Dragon Lords. Linking Farragut and Kit into Bearbrum. Then Kit effect, dump or Carrier. All that resolves. Then Bearbrum pitches 2 to summon Nerval. Nerval effect, banish 3 to summon Rugal. Then Mercurier search Albion. Then Albion dump Sword and put back to draw 1. Using Sword Engrave to add back Mercurier. Dragonlord's pitching Mercurier to remove the token. Then Bearbrum and Nerval to summon Simorgh, using the remaining materials to summon Union Carrier? Effect to equip... Oh. They move to end phase, where they use Simorgh to summon Apex Avian from deck, and ladies and gentlemen, this is quite literally infinite negates, with Apex Avian being able to bounce Thunderbird to hand and then have it infinitely summon itself. Return we draw Cosmic, and although we do have a valid Super Poly target with Thunderbird and one of the other monsters, we can't do anything afterwards. the Avian effect bouncing Thunderbird to negate Cosmic, then Thunderbird effect to summon itself back. We activate Super Poly, discarding the Sundew to fuse away the Samorg and Thunderbird to summon Muddragon, go into battle phase, beat over Union Carrier, then pass. They draw, and once they summon Tri-Brigade Karas, we scoop it up. So we're back, and honestly, I'm kind of unimpressed. In the spirit of Hank Hill, it feels like we're not making Predaplant better, we're just making Branded worse. Verdicts are the same as usual, going by predicted expected ranking, law-abiding nursing home resident is below Platinum, harmless delinquent is Platinum, lone wolf is low Diamond, while public enemy number 1 is Diamond 1. Now up for judgment, Branded Predaplant. The deck has some strengths. Its inboard is noticeably stronger than its Despia counterpart. Whereas that deck typically ends on maybe 3 interruptions, this deck can end on 6 regularly, and up to 8 if your opponent is playing decks that play into Banishment and Predaplant. Even more so than Branded Despia, this deck is an OTK machine, especially into turn 3. It solves some crucial problems with Despia too, having more out to monster unaffected bosses, as well as having more access to high attack through Trifio Verutum. If you already own a Branded core, trying out Predaplant stuff is very cheap, with only 1 mandatory UR and instant fusion, and trust me, that will not go to waste. However, the deck has weaknesses. In exchange for the better inboards, the deck loses most of its resilience and its board-breaking potential. You don't have the patchwork engine to make Queritus or Chimera to break boards, and if you do, which is something you can play, you have basically no room for staples. Also, in many cases, any hand trap ends your turn. It's bricky. Pretty much every Predaplant card, sans Scorpio and occasionally Sundew, sucks to draw, and in many cases you get hands that just don't do anything. And also, you feel really silly playing this stuff when Aluber and friends are within arm's reach instead. All in all, when this deck pops off, it pops off, but it has too many weaknesses to be a viable alternative to its Despia counterpart. That's why this deck gets a Lone Wolf ranking. Thank you for watching. If you would like more guidance on how to make this deck work from people who have played the deck more than me, I highly recommend the Predaplant Discord server in the RUView Archetype repository, or the Predaplant channel in the Master Duel Meta Discord server. If you liked this video, consider liking and subscribing to me. Also comment below what you liked, what you think needs improvement, or tell me my list is garbage. Also, check me out on Twitter, where I follow other VTubers and Yu-Gi-Oh content, as well as post updates and my thoughts, and Twitch, where I stream Master Duel rank crimes, other Master Duel or Yu-Gi-Oh related content, and other games. Also, if you would like to discuss my content or Yu-Gi-Oh in general with other like-minded people, consider joining my Discord, linked in the description. Thank you, and have a good day.